What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. This one is going to be classic, me playing Willbender DPS, and we're playing on Temple this round. So this match is a fun one because I'm actually going to roast myself again. I made a significant mistake during this match, and I want to showcase it for you guys. Other than that, it's a good match. But I opened here with a spear combo on this core necro because I know that Willbenders can kind of eat core necros for the most part. And then something I do here a lot, you'll see that I DPS this guy and I immediately take him out of the fight. I want to comment on this because I do this a handful of times, not always. The reason that I take them out of the fight like that sometimes is because if the team is not super skilled, if the players that you're playing with are not super skilled, sometimes it's better to just have the enemy out of the fight, because otherwise, you know, if your team is easy to down and kill, just like I did on the core necro, you might lose your teammate and the enemy might DPS them out quicker than you finish off the enemy. And so I don't want to risk that here. When I know we can confirm a kill and when I'm worried that maybe the rating of the players is a little bit low, I want to make sure that we have that 5v4 advantage right out the gate. So that's why I go ahead and finish him off there, and then we go ahead and focus on the Spellbreaker here. So go ahead and get that kill. You'll notice I don't try to finish him off because we've already got the advantage, theoretically speaking. So go back into the fight. We've got one down. Thief uses his elite. And then the Willbender has joined the fight, and he uses his elite. So everybody's out of invuln, which means we can finish him. So we get the Willbender down. Then I immediately focus on the Thief here. And get the kill there. I go ahead and do the little knockdown combo. Spear 5, 3, 2. He ports away, but he still dies to our Mechanist. So we get the kill, and then I notice that the enemy team has kind of rotated to our home, captured our home. So I decide I need to get up there and get in the fight. I see their Spellbreaker rotating in. I notice that our guy is killed, so I decide to avoid the Spellbreaker and just go for this Mesmer, because I'm assuming he has low cooldowns. And I'm hoping that I can res my teammate by DPSing him faster than Spellbreaker, which I can, and I do. Spellbreaker doesn't do a ton of DPS, so if it's a race to who can finish off the enemy teammate first, usually you can win that on Willbender. Willbender can win that against almost any class. I actually got pulled back there by the Spellbreaker's counter. Got outside of the radius. Okay. So I'm rotating back to mid, and I see that mid is actually handled, which is nice to see. Anytime the team can win mid without their DPS, you've got a good team, at least comparatively to the enemy. So focus on the core necro. He goes into Shroud. I don't want to deal with all that health. I want to try and get a quick kill for our team. So I come down here and I help this guy fight the Spellbreaker because I feel like he's an easier target. And he actually puts up a good bit of a fight. I rotate off of him, get caught by his counter again. But I see the Necro kind of eating one of my teammates there, and I decide I want to mess him up. So get him, he runs off and dies. So start DPSing him, and the Thief comes after me. And so, okay, this is where the lesson is going to start for this video. Whenever a Thief steals from a Guardian, they get a stolen skill that allows them to stun you. And if the Thief is running a certain trait, they can use that skill twice. So that gives them 2 prolonged stuns that they steal, plus their steal is usually a stun, plus he's running sword dagger, and so if he attacks me from stealth, it's a stun. And then whenever you're using sword on a Thief, your third skill will do a dodge animation with a hit at the end of it, and then it opens up a second skill, and that second skill does a stun. So this guy has a lot of stun, and stun really shuts down Willbender because Willbender doesn't have much stability, and even if they do, if the Thief is traded right, he can steal that boon from you. So you are super susceptible to sword dagger thieves. This is where I start making my mistake, and you guys will see what that mistake is. So I push this because I'm like, I don't want you to res. I want to kill you. So I try to combo him, and I do, but I don't have much left. I've used my invuln here. He gets him up. Now I've got to run, and I have almost nothing. So I try to line of sight, and I have nothing here. So I go down. And I see the enemy going down there, and I'm like, oh please, somebody finish him off. I use my heal, and this guy, you can see this Necro right here is not focusing me. And that's a huge mistake. Guys, focus. Focus your downed enemies, especially when your teammate's down. So I get up, I come over here, our teammates have gone down. It doesn't matter. Willbender does a crap ton of damage, and Willbender's my main, so I know how to make it do damage well. And literally, I eat the entire enemy team. So let's back this up. In the span of about 15 seconds, it goes from them winning the fight to they're down, it's kind of tied, who's going to finish them off, to we're up, and the only one left is the Necro, and now Necro's dead. So don't make the mistake that this enemy team just made, and especially not with a Willbender. You gotta DPS the down, especially when your team is down. So there we go. We clean that up. We get the team fight despite my mistake, trying to kind of win a cheeky 1v1 sort of against a Thief. And right here, Thief catches me alone, and I decide, rather than pushing up to my team there at far, that I am, you know, that I'm the macho man here, and I can take the Thief duel because I'm a good player. So I try to take the Thief duel, and I get destroyed. And actually, if you watch closely at that clip, if y'all want to rewind and watch it, you'll notice that he uses his stolen skill to stun me there. So he played very well. He stunned the mess out of me, and I got absolutely punished. So again, the lesson here: you've got to rotate off of your counter. If there is a specific class on the enemy team that obliterates you for whatever reason, and honestly, even if they're not supposed to obliterate you, maybe you're just not as good of a player as you should be, which, by the way, he gets greedy here. He tried to go straight to my spawn. He did not want me alive right there, so go ahead and finish him off here. Oh, that's right, he rotates off. I thought I finished him there. Anyways, and again, I start kind of chasing him. If he hadn't jumped down there, I probably would have chased him some more. I shouldn't do that. There's no reason to do that. He's a Thief. He can go into stealth. He can shadow step way more than I can. Just not a good play. And it'll take me away from the team fights, which is where I need to be, you know, helping my team generate those kills. So I see that we lost mid, and I'm like, okay. And I see the Thief there, and I kind of learned my lesson a little. Was like, all right. And I go for the kill on him again. Now I failed to get the cheeky combo that I was hoping for, and in my defense, I actually did think he was going to really hardcore target me, so I kind of felt like I had to take the fight. Either way, not a good idea. I need to go and play with my teammates. I need to win the team fights for the team, not get caught in a 1v1 versus a Thief. So again, rotate off your counter. Don't be like me in this particular match. So Thief goes invuln there. I swap over to the Necro. It's exactly what I should have done. I try to swap back to the Thief. Man, I want that Thief. But either way, we kind of win the mid fight, and the Thief had to rotate off. So we're doing well. We've got a massive point advantage. I start coming towards the buff because I know the 830 buff is about to go. And but at this point, I'm like, okay, there's two enemies here. All of my friendlies have left. I've got to go down into the pit. Then I get pulled by the counter, and I try to fight the Thief again. And look what happens again. Okay, so at this point I'm going, do I help my team, or do I cap or decap? What do I do? Willbender gets the cap here, so I decide let me decap and then I'll go help my team. Not a terrible decision. Probably should have stuck with the team, but in my mind I was like, well, I've got the Willbender preoccupied. He's their damage. I'm our damage. It's kind of a moot point. And if the Thief's trying to team fight down there, it's not the best situation for a Thief anyways, so. So I get the kill. I want to finish him off fast so that I don't have to worry about him. So finish him off, and I decide, okay, let me go help with this team fight. We haven't won yet, and we don't want to lose because then the enemy gets a 3 cap. So I come up, I see one of our guys is down, two of our guys is down. I decide to see if I can salvage it, and I get a really good combo on that Mesmer. Obviously, he had no skills left from the fight, which is kind of what I expected. And actually, in hindsight, I think he may have just completely quit because he just completely disappeared there. So we get the buff. Willbender came in to try and stop us. He was about half a second too late. So open up with a combo on him. We've got 2 nodes, so I know all we have to do is finish him. That's 5 more points. And boom, we win the match. So there we go. Crazy match. All in all, not bad. Ultimately, the mistake that I repeated over and over and over in that match was I kept trying to force the duel versus that thief. And I've said it a few times in the video. Do not force a fight that you can't win. Whether it's because they're skill gapping you or because they are a class that counters yours, there's no reason to take the fight. I took the fight probably 2 or 3 times in this match out of pure arrogance. Part of it is I like the challenge. I want to learn how to beat him. But at the same time, if I'm trying to win the match, there's no reason for me to keep forcing a fight against a class that's going to work me. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed that match. Hopefully you found it valuable. I'll see you guys on the next one.